do my best. But let me start out really quickly and jump right in. Any man that has a problem with Russell Wilson tells you a lot about that man. And I want you to pay attention to the men who criticize Russell Wilson. Number one, the majority of the time when they talk, they're always talking about him being lame based on ghetto street mentality. And this is coming from somebody who grew up in the streets, that was banging, that was out there fighting every day, that was getting in trouble, that did a lot of street pharmaceuticals. I'm that guy. And Russell Wilson is a better standard than what I was doing. Number two, these are the same men that all they make reference to is sex all day. They're always talking about their sexual escapades and all this other kind of stuff. And number three, they don't have a high level of emotional intelligence. These are men who all they do is spend their time tearing everybody else down to validate themselves. So let's be clear. When you hear a O.J. Kano, Channing Crowder, rappers criticizing Russell Wilson, it's not because Russell Wilson is lame, it's because he's a man with better character than they have. That's the problem. The problem is anytime a man does right by people, and notice, Russell Wilson ain't saying nothing. Has anybody paid attention to the very fact that Russell Wilson hasn't opened up his mouth at all? All he is doing is loving his family well. So when you hear men, even myself, if I was to do it, come out here and dog other men, that says a lot about us as a man. Why you need to go and double down? If you double down, it's double dumb. It's doubly stupid. It makes no sense for you to tear down a man who has a healthy family life and loving a child well and treating his lady well. It really has more to do with the internal brokenness of the man who's talking about Russell Wilson. The majority of the men, and I'm going to tag OG Kano because I don't want him to think I'm talking behind his back. The majority of the men who criticize Russell Wilson and talk about his legacy, they don't have the shoes to fill to be that man. And my last point, which is most important, to every young man that is listening to this video, judge me all you want. Russell Wilson is part of the gold standard. Miss me with all this ghetto talk. We ain't talking about how much money he make. We're not talking about his clothes. We're not talking about being lame. We're talking about just being a father and a husband and a godly man. That's the standard. And if a guy come from the street like me and I change and I grow, and this is coming from a person who made mistakes, verbally abusive, attitude all the time, thought I had to do everything street. When I started growing, I started getting criticized by other men. I do not care. For him, I live and move and have my very existence. Russell Wilson is a godly man. When you start honoring God, men are going to start to hate because they don't know how to live in that space. That's the standard. Don't shoot to be the man to make the money because the money is not the problem. Character for our men in our community is. So be a good man.